I have been told by people who are true believers in the online world that I haven't become a real person in the online world yet because I've never made a beginning of year video outlining my predictions and hopes and personal expectations for the year. Well, what the hell? It's 2021 and we're all committed to making this year better than the cavalcade of karmic turds, this dumpster fire of apathy and malice, the steaming stream of sludge, the fetid fire hose of effluvia that made up 2020. Hey, at least there's hope. Hope is free. It's the last thing in Pandora's box. So let's take it out and have a bit of a look. 2021 is going to be bodacious. It's going to be the awesome beginning to a stellar decade. I'm so looking forward to this year. Let's start with the big picture stuff. Let's get the political one out of the way. I believe that the Democrats will take both seats next week in Georgia. I believe. And when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris become president and vice president, they will disappoint people on both sides, left and right equally, with what they are and are not prepared to do. They're going to do this a lot. Things you might look at, national minimum wage, rejoining the Paris Climate Accords, universal amnesty for nonviolent drug offenders. That could be a thing. Immigration reform. Like the other way than it's been going the last 4 years. Increased funding to the arts and scientific research agencies. That'd be nice. And some of that will even happen. Some of it will. One specific project I think is going to come up. High-speed rail. Yeah. There is nobody that loves passenger train travel in this country more than our next president, Joseph Robinette Biden. Nobody. This is going to be better than the last 4 years by a long length. We'll complain about Joe and Kamala as political beings, not as existential threats to society. Which is better? It's better. Definitely better. Unquestionably. We'll get to sometimes do fun stuff instead of spending every waking cycle of our brains focused on what some sociopath is going to do next. We'll all have just a little space in our heads for fun stuff. We could have a dance craze or some weird toy. Memes. Oh my god, memes. Memes are going to get better. They're going to get better because we can do other things with them. They're going to get weirder too, which honestly I'm kind of here for because we'll have room for weirdness. Weirdness is going to come back. A little. Not crazy, but like a little bit. Next one. I've seen a lot of people predicting a big global party once this vaccine stuff reaches a critical mass. I don't see that happening. Not this year. I think 2020 has scarred a goodly number of people. Masks in public are going to be a thing for a good long while after this. Not everywhere. Here in London, mask wearers are definitely in the minority, but you won't be looked at funny, especially in big cities, if you wear a mask, even long after all of this has gone away or at least gotten under control. I would love to be wrong about this, by the way. If anyone has earned a new Roaring 20s, it's us humans, right? Am I right? I'm right. Just remember how the Roaring 20s ended though, okay? There was the stock market crash, and then there was the Great Depression, and then the Nazis came back, and it was a bad scene. So let's see if we can learn a thing or two from history for this time round, huh? Let's just, let's do the fun stuff. You know, the flappers and the invention of jazz and all of that. That's gonna be great. Next, I predict that the Nobel Prize for Literature will go to a woman who I, as a white guy who reads almost exclusively in English, will have never heard of and will be full value for it. And I'm here for it. And speaking of ignorant white guys, more terrorism is coming. That's not much of a prediction, that's pretty much a guarantee. As America slides away from fascism again, as it sometimes does, and as it's unquestionably going to do, despite what you might be thinking, the aggrieved people will try to cause shit. Just be cool, okay? Think of it as a toddler throwing their last tantrum before they go to bed, hopefully forever. Next, I predict that, not this year, but in 2022, Elliot Page will act on screen again, in film, and get good enough notices that they will become the first person ever to have received Oscar nominations both for Best Actor and Best Actress. That'd be cool. I wonder if Greta Gerwig has a role in some film for him. That'd be great. I would be there for that. Next, new music is coming. Yeah, I know, duh, but hear me out. I'm going to explain what I mean with a very short history lesson. I'm going to jump over a cubic megaton of stuff, but here's where I'm coming from, okay? Half a century ago, the music of the kids was still rock. It was formerly rock and roll, but then it became rock. In the 70s, punk and disco happened, and they've stuck around. Punk is doing fine, but disco has flourished, and whether you dig that scene or not, we're all better for it. But that greased the wheels for hip-hop to enter the mainstream on the back of new wave, which was just pop with more hair gel, and R&B, which was gospel with more hair gel. Hip-hop in all its forms has dominated the mainstream cultural landscape for a quarter of a century at this point, and it was rebel music for a long time before that, and now they're using it to sell wheat thins and shampoo, and that's cool. But new styles are coming. A new style is coming. Paradigms will shift. A song, a video, an audio collage. Something is going to come that will break through to people outside of that act's core constituency. And it'll change the way we effectively all collectively think about modern music. I think that's going to happen. This doesn't happen every year. I'm not talking about big hits. I'm talking about things that changed the air in the room. I'm thinking about songs where there was a before and an after. Songs like Rock Around the Clock, I Wanna Hold Your Hand, Funky Town, Roxanne's Revenge, Rapper's Delight, the Run DMC version of Walk This Way, Let's Go Crazy, 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 It Smells Like Teen Spirit, Hey Ya, Lose Yourself, Bodak Yellow, Because I Got High, Old Town Road. Fully a half a dozen of those are probably gonna qualify for this. We can argue that out later. That might be fun. I smell a podcast. Finally, I think the Toronto Maple Leafs will break through and win a playoff round this year. I don't feel comfortable making this choice. In fact, I believe that they'll get to the Final Four, where they will lose in 6 games to the eventual Stanley Cup champion this year, the Colorado Avalanche. I will get to see Nazem Kadri lift the Stanley Cup, and that will be bittersweet. I miss you, Naz. I have some personal goals as well, many of which are carried over from last year because I became a dad and apparently other things were happening that stopped a lot of things from happening. So here are my personal goals that I'm prepared to share with you guys. Here we go. First off, I plan on doing a lot more of this. Making videos, learning how to make videos, just picking up a new skill. This is exciting to me. If I can put out 100 videos this year, that'd be great. Just learning how to make them and finish them and put them out and learn how to do this. I just want to do this. A daily vlog seems a bit much, but my kid is only 10 months old right now, and I still do a business that I would like to keep growing. That would be great. And I've only got so many cycles, but I would definitely want to do this. This is feeding me, so I'm going to keep trying to do it. Second, I want to run 1,000 miles this year. That sounds like a lot, but it's only 20 miles a week. It's 3 miles a day. It's not very much. It's as long as you stay on it. If you lose the thread, it becomes really hard really quick. But I was on that pace last year until everything went to hell, and I would like to pick that back up and get back on that in a big way, and I would love to be part of a community that did that. I'm on Strava, so if you want to friend me on Strava, and I'm talking this out on the Discord. We have a running club on the trivia Discord as well, so please join me there and we'll talk about that. And finally, I want to become conversationally fluent in French by the end of this year. I've been dancing around it for a few years, and my French isn't awful, but I can use my son as an excuse. I don't want him to grow up knowing only one language. Joe's French is better than mine, but we've been talking French to him as much as we can, but I'd like him to learn actual French, not whatever I'm babbling at him. I would like him to actually learn that, and for him to learn that, I should probably learn that as well. There's more, but I'm going to talk about it in Patreon and in Discord, and some of this stuff is going to involve you, and some of it is other projects that I'm working on that they'll come out. I fully have, just forcing myself to talk about them is going to make them come out, and I'm really excited about those too. And I suppose keep my kid alive and happy and whatever, sure, that too, sure.